Well, what is up, everybody? It's Moverse TV today, and we're going to talk about God of War Ragnarok. I have completed the game. I have almost around 25 hours into the game. I mean, beating it. I did a few side missions, but mainly just the story missions. But we're kind of seeing like I guess like when the honeymoon phase was over, like once the main websites gave their like reviews, people have been giving their honest like opinions about this game, and that's kind of like most of these reviews gave it 10 out of 10s, which is kind of unique about this game. Like, look at these different scores. A Metacritic score, 100, 100, 100, down the line here. So people are saying, like, this is kind of like a perfect game, pretty much. But when you actually play the game, maybe within, like, the first few hours, you see there's some blaring problems that this person even comments on. Like this person says, find Ragnarok to be a massive slog. There's far too much slow slash uninteresting uncharted like platforming. The puzzles are weak. Combat is just so. The endless walk and talk scenes and canoe trips are driving me bonkers, and the story is nowhere near as interesting as 2018. A meh out of 10. Now I'm not gonna be as harsh as this person is right here. Like I don't think it's that bad. I think I'll probably give like a 7 or 8 out of 10. I just don't think it deserves to be a 10 or a 9 out of 10 because like what she said, there's way too many slow uninteresting parts. The platform, it gets kind of annoying in some segments. Like it just keeps going on and on with the platforming that you got to do. Um, the puzzles are weak. I mean, the puzzles are just like I had no problems with the puzzles. I know some people kind of had issues that the characters would tell you like exactly what to do within like 10 seconds if you not figuring it out. They would just instantly tell you exactly what to do. People really annoyed with that, but I mean, it's kind of like the puzzles. I didn't find a lot of these puzzles that difficult to begin with. So it was a few of them that was kind of difficult, but most of them I could figure out on my own anyway. So it's like I kind of ignored what the characters were saying. The combat feels better than the other game. I don't agree with this point right here. I think the combat feels a little bit better. Uh, the endless walk and talk scenes and canoe trips are driving me bonkers. I kind of gotta agree with that. Like she said in the other post too about there is a part where you play as where there's a yak involved. I would just say that like she's saying right there. It drags and drags and drags and drags. Yes, this was within like the first 3 hours of the game. There's a part where you play as a character and there's a yak involved, and the yak segment takes it just drags on like at least a few like at least probably like an hour of that segment could have been cut down. Maybe like 30 minutes or 30 minutes probably could have cut off that segment right there because that part does drag. So I don't see any reviewer who gave this game a 10 when the part says, hey, they probably could have cut some of this part out of this game because this feel like it just went on forever. Or even like like you said before, there's just some parts in this game which just feels like it's just going on and on. It's kind of like a lot of this could have been cut out the game, to be honest. But I don't know how that affected people's decisions on this game was be that perfect 10 or not. Like, that's kind of crazy to me. But this is still probably the best game I played this year, to be honest, though. So I kind of say, hey, if it does win Game of the Year, I'm not going to be, like, shocked by that. But I just don't agree with this game being considered a 10 and perfect because there are some parts that's really freaking annoying in this game. But I had a good time playing this game, though. I had a fun time playing this game, so I give it that. How can they justify the 10s? I'm not seeing it at all. It's a game made for game journalists. Little to no gameplay, cutscene, walking sims, and my deep story. It's just boring. I want a game to be a game and not a long movie. Yeah, there's some segments where you just like with a whole like walk-in interactive movie thing. It kind of feels like that. It's like some points it's like, hey, am I actually playing as the character now? Or it's just like a bit longer cutscene. So there's a lot of points like that in the game. Mm. Sony fans not gonna take too kindly to this opinion. That people are being honest about this game once like the smoke screen has been revealed about this. I mean, the game was fun. Like I still say that I still enjoyed myself with the game, but there is some annoying parts about this. Um, and you could definitely feel that it's like a PS4 game. Like, there's no question that this is just an upscale PS4 game. Uh, Then I think an article came out too with the developers. They were saying that they didn't think this game was even gonna be good or something like that. Something to that extent. Like they were shocked that this game was even like people even thought the game was gonna be good. It's like a few months ago. Uh, Sony fans love their walking simulators though. Just finished this part. I'm starting to wonder if there's something wrong with me. What am I not getting that most people are? I'm about to quit this game. It's so slow. I wouldn't go that far with it because at least when you like beat that segment, at least like it was like a cool ending, so to say that part. So I mean, it's just like it's just some of that part that could it just dragged on way too long. Uh, the fanboys are gonna be so mad at this, but I'll be able to hear their keyboards clacking as they type from miles and miles away. Then there was one point in the story that kind of annoyed me as well too, where it's like you see a character that is like how can I say this? Like he gets impersonated, and then I'm like, okay, this isn't the character that we thought it was. Are they gonna explain what happened to the character? Like, I'm not trying to go into spoiler territory, but that part of the game just kind of like I had a lot of questions at that point because it's kind of like this is not the real character. What did happen to the other character then? I was so confused about that, but it never went more. They never went into more detail of what actually happened. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but that really confused the hell out of me while I was playing the game. So if you know, you know. If you don't know, then I'm not spoiling. So I guess that's a good thing right there. Um, Dang, reading this thread, I can see why even the dev said it wasn't good just a few months before release. And what's funny is the game wars are coming, and the amounts of copium going on with people calling the game of the year is absolutely mind blowing. Yeah, I can see the biggest competition this game really has is Elden Ring. That's like I haven't played Elden Ring, so I can't really talk about that. So, but people really love the Elden Ring game. So it's like either this is gonna win or Elden Ring is gonna win Game of the Year. Um, I'm enjoying Ragnarok, but the yak bit is nothing but padding for the sake of it. Two big plot reveals sandwiched between irrelevant exposition and meaningless quest. The game definitely improves after, but that part is particularly is indefensibly bad. Yeah. Um, Haven't watched almost the entire game. This is an 8.5 out of 10 from at most. So sad. All the segments with the kid is boring as F. I don't agree. I think Atreus has some pretty good parts. I kind of like Atreus more than Kratos, especially playing as Atreus, which is a kind of a spoiler because he played as someone in the last game too. So, um, yeah, I kind of like some of his segments even more than Kratos. So, but yeah, I have a problem with playing as Atreus. It's only some segments, which is kind of annoying. Um, Yeah, I somewhat agree. The pacing is all over the place, and some sections drag out and I feel like a chore. Too much walking slash talking, canoeing, and not enough combat. Hopefully, we'll pick up steam, but for now, it's definitely a weaker showing than the 2018 prequel. And then during the combat sequences, there is sometimes where like the camera is like super like annoying when you're fighting certain enemies. It's like you're trying to pick up some health, and the camera is like focused on the enemy, so you can't. It's just really annoying sometimes with the camera angle in this game. And also when you're fighting enemies, you gotta fight against like 4+ enemies at the same time. That's some of those segments kind of annoying too. Um, Okay, here's the article. He says God of Ragnarok devs thought the game was not good just 3 months ago. Director says, which is a pretty crazy statement to make. I didn't think the game was good just a few months ago. Mm. Video games ain't movies. Uh, Could you like have a worthy opinion instead of being edgy and complaining about a video game? um, it feels empty in a lot of areas, kind of strange, almost like it's unfinished. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that statement. Um, I can kind of see this perspective. I think a little less would have been more in this game on all fronts. That said, it's a sequel, so anyone who liked the first game is generally happy. They're getting infinitely more game than 20, God of War 2018. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, overall, I enjoy my time with it, but I could definitely see how some people would kind of be really annoyed with some of the parts of the game. Where it's kind of like, I don't see how people gave this game a 10. Like, really? You mean to tell me a lot of these annoyances didn't take away from the score? But, you know, a lot of these different companies gave this game a perfect 10, which is kind of like, I don't see that. But, I mean, the game was good, but I don't see a perfect 10 out of this game. But yeah, I'll leave that up to you to decide. If you played the game, what are your thoughts about it? If you have completed, or maybe you're still playing it right now. Maybe you just ignored it. I don't know. I just want to see your thoughts down below. There's some of people's actual thoughts that actually coming out about this game. And once they have like put, I guess, like a big chunk of time into it to actually beat it at this point, people are giving their opinions about it. Because it is kind of odd that a lot of these sites were giving it a 10. And it's like people are saying that, hey, some of these points, there's a lot of issues with this game. A few issues that comes up with this game. So definitely want to see your thoughts down below. Leave a like this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and peace.